Hello, this is a video tutorial for problem 1.6 on page 50 of your textbook, the brake rotor. So this is the brake rotor. Take a look at it. This is what we're going to be building. We can roll back through the parts here so you can see the different steps. We're going to make just a flat disc, extrude, cut out that hole. We can actually do these two at the same time. Then we're going to put the holes around the outside. Going to do one hole there and revolve those. We're going to do a circular pattern and cut, extrude, and then we're going to do another circular pattern for that, and that's how we're going to get the brake rotor. And then we're going to change our material to AISI 304. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so this is actually in millimeters, so we have to go down here to the bottom and change to millimeters, grams, and seconds. We're going to start off with an extrude boss base, and we're going to start in the front plane. Going to grab your circle tool, and we're actually going to draw two circles. So one large circle and one small circle. Size doesn't matter because we're going to change the size with the dimensions. So the first is the overall diameter of the brake rotor, which you can see on the right view of page 50. So that's 165, and then the second diameter is 36, and you can see that in the front view. Okay, and the thickness you see on the right side view, and that is a thickness of 2 millimeters. Okay, so there's the start of our brake rotor. Change back to the front view. Let's do the holes that revolve around the outside first. So we'll go to extrude cut. We'll select the front face of our disc as our planar face. The next thing we need to do is draw 3 center lines and 3 construction circles. So I selected center line, and I'm clicking on the origin, holding down the mouse key and dragging it out. That way another line doesn't start from the end point. Then I'm going to do circles, and I'm going to draw out a circle from the origin, go to the left for construction, another circle from the origin, go to the left for construction, and one more circle for construction. Okay, now it's time to put in some smart dimensions. This first line should have a vertical relation. If it doesn't, click the line and go to the left and select vertical. I'm going to set the first line and the second line 5 degrees apart. And I am going to set the first line and the third line 10 degrees apart. Then I'm going to set the diameter of the first circle to 153, the diameter of the third circle to 148, and the diameter of the third circle to 143. Okay. Now, where those lines and circles intersect is where the holes go. So I'm going to zoom in here. We have one hole that goes here, one hole that goes here. Make sure that you don't add any geometric relations that you don't mean to. Like, you don't want to accidentally snap to one of these construction circles. Otherwise, you're going to have to go back in later and delete that geometric relation. So make sure the only geometric relation that you put in is snapping it to the intersection of those two constructions. And then we're going to smart dimension those as well. And the first one, well, actually all of them are going to be 5. Diameter of 5. Okay. And I'm going to hit the purple arrow to approve that sketch, and then I'm just going to extrude cut them either through all or blind to 2 millimeters. And that's going to put the hole all the way through. Okay, now we'll zoom back out to our front view. And now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I will do a circular pattern in the Features tab. So in the Features tab, linear pattern drop-down list, circular pattern. Over here, Features to pattern, click the drop-down list, cut, extrude 1. Parameters, that's going to be this outside edge. Number of instances is going to be 24. And you want to make sure that equal spacing is checked. And green check mark, there it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and we will do the holes that go around the center of the rotor. So we'll do extrude cut, front face of the disc for our planar face. I'm going to do a circle. I'm going to make it for construction. And then at the top of that circle, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw another circle at the top of that quadrant, and I'm going to smart dimension that circle to be 5 millimeters. And then this construction circle is going to be 45. Alright, purple arrow, extrude cut through all or blind to 2 millimeters. Circular pattern. Parameters is the outside edge. Features the pattern, cut extrude 2, or if it's not appearing, drop down list, cut extrude 2. Your number might be different. It might be cut extrude 3 or 4, just depends on how many times you've messed up. Then the number of instances is 6. Make sure equal spacing is checked, and green check mark. Alright, so there's those. Alright, now let's put in the 4. I'm not sure what those are, but let's put those in. Alright, so we're going to do extrude cut, select the front face of the disc, and we're going to start off by putting in some construction lines or center lines. So from the origin, click and hold, release, and then click and hold and release, and if you can, line it up on the yellow dashed line to get that perpendicular relation put in there, that would be good. And then do a vertical center line as well. We can smart dimension those then. Left side to the right side should be 45, and if these two lines are perpendicular, then they're already set to 90 degrees apart, which then forces this to be 45 degrees apart. Okay, so next step, we are going to go ahead and insert some center point arcs. So start at the origin, click approximately where that center point arc is going to go. One more center point arc from the origin, approximately where it's going to go. And then take a line and endpoint to endpoint, and another line endpoint to endpoint. Okay. Hold shift, select the left line and the left center line and set them parallel. Escape, shift, right line, right center line, parallel. Okay, and now we have to put in our smart dimensions. So for these smart dimensions, if you look at the front view of the brake rotor, you'll notice that the dimension given in the book is the distance between this line here and the line that will be symmetric on the other side. So it actually dimensions it from here to the center line and across the center line, and that's set to 8. It's the same for the opposite side, so from the right line to the construction line and then across, and set that to 8. Then we're going to smart dimension the top arc to have a radius of 66 and the bottom arc to have a radius of 30. Okay, now we're fully defined, and purple arrow, extrude cut through all. Alright, circular pattern. Features the pattern, drop down list, cut extrude 3. Parameters, the outside edge. Number of instances is 4. Green check mark. There we go. We have 2 more things to do, and that's insert all the fillets and a circular pattern and then change the material. So let's do the features tab, fillet. Okay, now to put these fillets in, you're going to have to zoom in, turn the brake rotor sideways, and select the inside corner. We could have done this as a fillet in the sketch tab, but then if you ever had to change the fillet size, you wouldn't be able to without actually redrawing the entire sketch. So it's actually just, well, you wouldn't have to completely redraw it, but it's always much simpler to use the feature tab fillet if possible. The fillet size is going to be 6. And if you don't see the yellow lines, that's because you have no preview or partial preview on. Green check mark. We're going to circular pattern those fillets. Parameters is the outside edge. Features to pattern is fillet. Green check mark. And now, whoops, something didn't go right. Features the pattern, fillet 1, green check mark. There we go. Number of instances, 4, should be 4. Well, something must be wrong here. Let's figure out what it is. Let's just do 2 and see what happens. Unable to create instances for the pattern, try again by decreasing the number of instances or the distance between the instances. Equal spacing. Okay, so if this isn't working, that means that there must be something wrong with this circular pattern here. So let me just go through here and edge 1. Four, cut extrude 3. Check this sketch out, make sure everything's okay in here. Everything looks good here. Alright, we're just going to delete it and start that part over. Alright, so fillet tab. Fillet parameters is supposed to be 6 millimeters. Items to fillet. Green check mark. Alright, and if this doesn't work, we have one more option to try to fix it. Features to pattern. Fillet 2. Parameters is the outside edge. Green check mark. And still got an error, so what we're going to do is we're going to rearrange this. We're going to move fillet 2 above circular pattern 3 just by dragging and dropping it. And then we're going to open up circular pattern 3, edit feature. Under features to pattern, we're going to add fillet 2 to it and hit the green check mark, and then there we go. Now we're done with the drawing. So the next part, we're going to change the material type. Go to material, edit material, and under steel we need to find the stainless steel AISI 304. Apply and close. Okay, and there is the 2 millimeter thick brake rotor.